Hi, welcome to Regan's Rants and Raves. My name is Ellie. I'm your hostess with the most. Hi, welcome to Regan's Rants and Raves. My name is Ellie. I am your hostess. Snack? I am your hostess with the mostest, and today we'll be ranting about, bitching about, eating ass about 2019's Dr. Sleep. If you have not seen this movie yet, I don't care. You're going to listen to this anyways. It's your problem that you haven't seen it. It's not my problem. Don't make this my problem.
It kind of sounds like it might be your problem.
It's not my problem that you didn't go to the movies and see Dr. Sleep. It's not my problem, Alec. If you have not seen this movie yet, I don't care. Just to reiterate. It's also out of theaters now, I think, so there's no, possible way to even see it unless you illegally downloaded it, you fire stick breathing bitches.
All right, so we're looking forward to this from last week when we talked about The Shining. So before we start, I think we should put a disclaimer out there. Neither of us have read the book.
No.
We're just going solely off of the movie.
Yes.
And off of Stanley Kubrick's adaptation of The Shining.
Yes. Even though I have looked up a shit ton of stuff about the book this week.
Well, I'm glad that you know something, because I definitely don't.
Yeah. And also looked up things about The Shining I had no idea about in the book. So that's fun.
Yeah?
That's what my week's been.
Stuff that popped up in this movie?
Yeah.
Okay. Because, that was a question I had last week, was...
The Overlook Hotel wasn't even a thing.
Okay.
In Dr. Sleep.
This was, the whole third act was, pure fan service.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was just jacking us off.
All right. I like being jacked off, you know.
But they did do it justice because in The Shining, they burned down the hotel at the very end, apparently.
Okay.
And so that's why they tried to tie it up, I guess, with this one. Yeah. So they did end up doing that for the book.
Do you know details about the ghosts from the Overlook?
Not really.
Haunting Danny? No? Because that was a big thing in this story.
Yeah. No, I only know, so many weird little details.
Yeah.
And that's not one of them. I know Rose the Hat story is a little bit different in the book. Mm-hmm. You'd have to actually look up how the fuck it's different, because all the videos ever told me was just, it's different. Thanks. That's it.
Wait for Wisecracks, what's the difference video. Or
yep, pretty much.
Not Wisecrack, whoever.
Pretty much. So if you guys didn't know, this takes place many years after The Shining, when Ewan McGregor has a drug problem.
Yeah.
That's it. This is actually about, Alcoholics Anonymous, and that's it. That's all this movie is about.
Just like The Shining.
Yeah, that's it. Surprise.
But again, I've got no idea what happens in the book. But I like
Not really. I have loose knowledge. Really just basic bitch shit knowledge about the book.
But I do like how the movie approaches alcoholism and how Danny kind of fell into it just like his father did. And also kind of reframes.
It also scares me a little bit because of that, but that's fine. That was my own horror movie, and be like, oh my god.
Oh no.
By the way, it's genetic. Fun. Great. Good, I have something to look forward to. Hello, my name is Ellie, and I'm an alcoholic.
Hi, Ellie.
Yeah, that's it. Great.
But it also does kind of, I don't know if it's reframing or just picking an interpretation and sticking to it with Jack's story in The Shining. Because that was a question that I had, was it's going to have to pick an interpretation and stick to it.
Yeah.
So it looks like they're going with ghosts, which was probably what was happening in the Stephen King novel, I'm assuming.
I have no idea.
I mean, this director, Mike Flanagan, I don't want to make any assumptions about him, but he's not a Stanley Kubrick,
Yeah.
Obviously, he took some liberties by adding in that third act with the Overlook, but Stanley Kubrick took lots of liberties.
Yeah.
When very...
and that's the reason why Stephen King doesn't fucking like it.
Yeah.
Which I could, I understand.
Yeah. I mean, as somebody who creates something, it's a very understandable concern. But
I also like the movie that we got. So,
yeah, exactly.
But that's just me. It's not my baby. It's not my brain baby. So I can't really have an opinion about that. Yeah. But anyways, I did enjoy this movie at the very least.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, Obi-Wan Kenobi could do literally anything, and I would still be there for it.
Ewan McGregor can do no wrong. That is correct.
Yeah. Have you seen Moulin Rouge? She was the best part of that movie.
But let's talk about the cast in Dr. Sleep real quick. So, Ewan McGregor, fantastic, can do no wrong. I thought he brought an interesting sort of vulnerability to the role.
Yeah.
Which when you think about it, is to be expected. It's Danny, little Danny boy, all grown up.
But I mean, you don't get to see that much. Yeah. In The Shining, anyway, so he could have taken that. You can't mirror that after a child, really. Right. You have to keep that in the back of your brain as while playing an adult.
Also, this is 40 years later.
Yeah. So and he mirrored, from what I read, a lot of his acting after Jack Nicholson, because obviously you're going to be acting like your father. Yeah. And then, of course, there was that one bit in the third act. Because I was watching a bunch of interviews, and that's what he said that he did, was got a lot of inspiration from Jack. So
I think I can kind of see that.
I think I could see a mix of both. Of like you said, vulnerability, and then a mix of, because obviously everybody becomes their dad in some way, shape, or form. Yeah, so which is great.
I mean, like that was the whole part of the story was the alcoholism and then the hotel taking him in that third act. Yeah. Which I guess is what happened in The Shining. Now that's the reading that we're going with. Yeah. I'm okay with it. Anyway. We've also got Rebecca Ferguson as Rose the Hat.
Damn.
Yeah,
she was good.
She was a lot of fun.
She was really good.
Like the whole Rose.
Granted, I don't have anything to go off of when it comes to the book, but she was really good.
She was. Like, she reminded me of
She was really enchanting.
I can't remember the.
Which is the point, I guess.
Yeah, I can't remember the character's name, but he's basically the devil in Stephen King's universe. I'm not even going to pretend to know his name. He was the bad guy in The Stand, and Rose the Hat reminded me a lot of him, just in her charm. You know, how she interacts with other people,
romancing people and doing what she wants.
Yeah. So that's what I really liked about her.
She was a good villain.
Yeah, I'm glad that I liked her because anything having to do with her in what few trailers I saw was what really kind of turned me off. So I'm glad that I wound up liking her.
Yeah, because as soon as I saw the trailer, I was really questioning what the fuck we were about to get.
What's with the hat? But then it's just a hat. It's just part of her character. I mean, Stephen King.
There has to be a reason. There has to be a reason for the fucking hat.
Well, I just saw this little fun fact on IMDb that like Rose is covered in trinkets from previous child victims. Yeah. Oh, okay. So maybe the hat belonged to a kid. Maybe she just likes it.
I don't know. It could be like her security blanket.
Could be.
If she has severe anxiety and can't sleep at night.
But like, just taking it at face value, it's the hat. The character likes the hat. Stephen King, it's weird. You know, and Stephen King stories should be weird. You know, that's what's kind of charming about them.
You're trying to think a lot more about this hat. Yeah. That I don't think that the movie had.
But the whole story is weird. There might be something about it in the book, but maybe. But the whole story itself is weird. It's got that Stephen King weirdness to it, and we're gonna get into that.
Well, yeah, no fucking shit. Yeah. It's Stephen King.
But like,
no fucking shit.
But like, The Shining kind of didn't have that. The Shining cut out a lot of Stephen King weirdness.
A lot, yeah.
For Stanley Kubrick vagueness, yeah.
It made it better, maybe.
For a lot of people, I think that would be true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now my favorite character in the story, Kylie Curran as Abra Stone.
She was very good.
Oh my god, she was phenomenal. You always kind of have to.
It had a really good cast. Like the whole thing had a really good cast of characters. Oh, yeah. But she definitely surprised me of how good that she was. Because normally by child actors, I get very angry because I hate them. Like with It, I was pleasantly surprised that I liked all those kids.
Oh god, you said it like 10 episodes ago. They're all going to go on to win Oscars.
Yeah. Hopefully, they're not drug addicts, Macaulay Culkin. But
he got better.
He did get better.
And we're very happy for him. Child actors are always a risk, especially in horror movies. I don't know if I would classify this as
it's either a hit or it's a miss.
Yeah.
It's either a hit or a miss when it comes to child actors in horror movies. Mm-hmm. See, with the original The Shining, we had a really good child actor, so it worked out. So, I mean,
Yeah.
It got good. Everything got good.
And the character of Abra herself is such an interesting.
They're supposed to be related
phenomenon.
in the book, I think. Somebody was telling me that.
Abra and Danny?
Yeah, they're supposed to be related. It's supposed to be like his like niece or something, and that she ends up finding him, or distant cousin, something fucking weird.
Okay, I guess.
And she's supposed to be like blonde, or I don't. Somebody was telling me this.
Yeah.
And I don't remember who, because I was asking a friend of work who's actually read the book.
I mean, if any of our listeners have read it and want to,
somebody please tell me.
Tell us what's what. Leave your thoughts in the comments, please. I guess that would be another reason, besides a logical reason, for her to say, "He'll be my uncle."
Because that's what I think it was. Yeah, that's what I think it was. Because Jack had apparently had some other kid.
Oh.
Yeah.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
Jack was
a slut, an alcoholic slut.
I mean, it's Jack Nicholson, Yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably Cher.
Fuck you. But yeah, she was really good.
Mm. So yeah, I loved Abra.
Me too.
I think there were some concerns that she could have been overpowered, but I loved how overpowered she was.
Mm-hmm.
How in tune she was with The Shining. But
they always say that, especially children, like medium-wise, they're the strongest because they don't have the doubts that it's real, that it's not real.
Yeah.
So Danny wouldn't have been a key, he wouldn't have been as good.
Right. But like, she was clearly much stronger than, like, any other kid with The Shining, or the Steam, as the fucking Rose the Hat's gang called it.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
I thought those were different. I thought the Steam was different than, because I thought everybody had a little bit of that in them.
Well, even Danny said that everybody shines a little bit without knowing it. So that's what I thought it was. The Steam and the Shining were the same thing. It's just the Steam was kind of sort of like a physical form of that psychic ability.
Because I kind of like thought the Steam was more like a soul thing. Mm-hmm. That's what they were eating.
But the whole reason why Rose the Hat decided to hunt down...
This whole thing is very confusing.
It's a weird story. It's very weird, and I like it because of it. But the whole reason why Rose the Hat decides to hunt down Abra is because her Steam is huge. And it just so happens that Abra is also like the biggest shiner.
Yeah.
And possibly the world.
Maybe they could be the same thing. I don't know. I was so fucking confused about that whole thing, but I really enjoyed myself. So
energy vampires feeding on psychic abilities is pretty confusing. What do you mean it's confusing? It's so easy to understand.
Fuck. I still can't even understand Twilight. So like I don't. If they're diamonds, you can't pierce through them. What the fuck are you supposed to do? Like.
Garlic allergy? I don't know.
No, they don't have that. That's what. It's just a fucked up thing.
I only read the first book.
God damn it! I read them all. I still couldn't understand.
Cliff Curtis as Billy Freeman was great.
Danny Torrance was in it, and you didn't even fucking recognize him. Like the original Danny Goddamn Lloyd.
I know.
Was in it, and you couldn't recognize him no matter how hard I yelled or whisper yelled because we were in a movie theater. But I got really excited. I had to shit that out there that I spotted him before you did.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm really glad for you that you have that.
Yeah, I also spotted that the office that he went into, the doctor's office.
Yeah.
It was the same fucking thing. And I'm sitting there like freaking out in the middle of the movie theater.
Yeah.
I had a panic attack.
It was really neat.
It was great. Because it was supposed to be like put in the same situation. It was supposed to make you... make you feel like he's in the same situation as his dad.
Well, his story mirrors his father's. Like that was a job interview.
Yeah.
Same as the office scene in The Shining.
Yeah.
It was just a job interview. The fact that it was all down to the basic set dressings as well, like the red envelope on the desk as well.
They really hit that nail on that head.
Yeah.
Really did.
And it's all in service to Danny's story.
Mm-hmm.
Will he become like his father? Or how much like his father will he become?
And he took the right turn. He took the right turns.
He did.
Yeah.
And we're very happy for him.
Yeah. And I think that spoke a lot about being a product of alcoholism myself.
Yeah.
There are so many roads that you can take and you don't have to follow the certain one. I thought that was kind of neat. How he's put in almost the same exact circumstances, but chose to take the right way out.
It's a very almost inspirational story.
Yeah, if you think about it that way.
With the subtleties that are there.
It was a good horror movie because of that. It wasn't just, let's see how gory that we can get or psychologically damaging we can be. They took the right. They took a lot of good roads.
Yeah, Danny's horror is really just what will he become? Like, yeah.
It's very cool.
And I loved that.
I did too. I loved that was the biggest standout. Well, yeah, that was the biggest standout thing for me, at least, was to sit there and watch him go through all of those things and end up being the good guy in the very end. Yeah. It's cool.
Even when he did sink to where his father sank.
He even got there. Yeah. He ended up taking the right roads.
Yeah.
So, that was cool in itself.
I loved that.
I really need you to talk about the fact that the Jack Nicholson guy was a lot. We really need to get there.
So there are three characters that got recast for this movie from The Shining. The first that we saw... Four? Well, I mean, yeah, Danny too, I guess.
Yeah. Because at least childhood Danny, yeah, that counts.
Yeah. So we saw Dick Halloran got recast. I thought they kind of hit the nail on the head with that.
They did.
Also, Wendy also got recast.
You can definitely see how she tried to be Shelley Duvall.
But you can't be Shelley Duvall.
But you can't be Shelley. Okay, so that was the hardest job that they got given.
Yeah.
You can't be mad at it because how do you do that? You can't be Shelley Duvall. Yeah.
So like we talked about this last week, was that like Shelley Duvall has such a unique beauty to her. And the actress that they got...
just a unique, especially in this role, such a unique way of acting, and just, you can't mirror that. Yeah. You can hear it. You can hear her try.
She's definitely doing her best.
How she yells his name.
Yeah. Daddy!
Yeah. And certain ways that she moves her mouth. And yeah, I could kind of see it. She was trying. She tried very hard, but it just wasn't...
She just seemed a little too plain to me.
Yeah, it wasn't... It wasn't that. It wasn't Shelley Duvall.
Yeah. She tried her best, but it's... I mean, for such a small role in this movie, too, like, I guess that's fine.
But it really stood out, though. It stood out to me. It was one of the things that, like... I cringed, but I know there's nothing anybody can do about it.
Yeah. We're not going to find another Shelley Duvall.
No.
Unfortunately.
She's too old, and she's done with the acting business anyways. So, like, you can't even...
Pretty much the same with Jack Nicholson. So, that's this guy. The guy that they got for him.
That really made me cringe. Mostly because Jack Nicholson has such a way of doing things that you cannot really mirror.
Yeah.
He tried. You got the hairline right. You got the look down.
Yeah.
But it was just, it wasn't hitting the right punches.
So, like...
The punchlines were dropping.
Yeah. So that scene where he's introduced, Danny's back in the Overlook, he goes to sit at the bar.
I know, and we talked about this. He's slowly becoming Jack.
Yeah. Because when he's introduced, he's just a ghost owned by the Overlook.
Yeah.
And he's acting like he doesn't.
I knew exactly who the fuck it was.
I wasn't sure because it didn't sound like the bartender.
As soon as he started talking to him, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Okay, I know how. Yeah. Yeah.
But he was, again, like, you can only do so much. But then
you got given a very hard job.
Yeah.
And it's not the actor's fault that it didn't land.
Yeah. But then you get into this conversation of the other things that they could have done. And we talked about this briefly.
Yeah, we did. Okay, like, so the Princess Leia thing.
Yeah, like Star Wars brought actors back from the dead. Princess Leia wasn't dead yet.
Granted that they don't have a fucking no, but she was older then. Yeah. She wasn't dead at that point.
Yeah.
But Star Wars money.
Yeah.
Star Wars money is a little bit different than horror movie money.
Yeah. But Marvel has also, and Marvel's got Marvel money, Marvel has also perfected de-aging.
Okay, you got Disney behind you, but you got Disney. Yeah. So, like, this is different.
Yeah. So, but the technologies are out there, and a lot of different studios are making use of them for either de-aging or just resurrecting dead actors.
But could you imagine the amount of budget that you would have had?
It would have been double.
Yeah, so just for that. I understand why to not do it. It's a horror movie. You know you're not going to make so much money anyways. Yeah. It's a horror movie. Even if you're following up from The Shining. Yeah. It's still.
And I spoke to a couple...
And it's sad and it sucks.
I spoke to a couple of our friends after seeing the movie, and they thought that just recasting them was really refreshing in this age of resurrecting dead actors and de-aging actors. But I think it really just come out about because of necessity, because of budgetary reasons, like you said.
Yeah, I don't...
whether you like it or hate it, it's what we've got. So...
And they definitely tried... You can tell that they tried their hardest, but it's so hard to do, especially those two people. Yeah. Those are the hard... That was a challenge. Yeah. That was a challenge in itself.
Yeah. I just... I think it... I guess it worked out because the two that we like the least are in it the least. Yeah. And again, they hit the nail on the head.
Especially I really thought that they were gonna bleed the Jack thing dry. Yeah. Like I thought they were gonna have him in it a lot.
They were really reserved with that, which was smart.
Good. That was a good choice. Yeah. I thought with the Overlook stuff, okay. I knew they were gonna go back there anyways. We all kind of figured that out.
The trailers were
it got obvious. That. Yeah. And also it got obvious in the story of, well, we need to find something that's abandoned, so I know where I'm gonna take them. You kind of started to get those hints.
Like story-wise, it made sense.
It made sense to take her there.
Because the Overlook also shines.
The whole building itself.
And they could use it to fight Rose.
So never explained that. Does it live on like Buffy live on a hellmouth, or like what the fuck?
It's just, it shines.
They never, just that many people died in it, I guess, that it has its own, I don't know.
I think it's just...
Somebody explain this to me.
Well, like Dick in The Shining explained to Danny that, there's some places shine too, just like people. So it's just...
Yeah, but we never got to explain why. Yeah. And I can live without knowing, but still, I'm just
Buildings are psychic.
I'm very curious.
It's that Stephen King weirdness.
Just somebody fucking tell me.
So, Stephen King weirdness in the story. Fucking energy vampires who feed on psychics. So we get introduced, we're reintroduced to Danny as a child. Yeah. And we kind of see the aftermath of the events of The Shining. Yeah. He and his mom are living by themselves. Danny keeps getting haunted by specifically the old lady in the bathtub. Yeah. And what a haunting visage when you first see her in the shadow of the doorway. Mm-hmm. I thought that was great.
This movie wasn't too jump scary, and I really liked that. Yeah. Yeah. I'm glad that they didn't take the cheap shots that they could have.
It would have been a disservice to the story and to the legacy of The Shining if they had done that. Yeah. Yeah.
They made a lot of it very psychological and also, I guess, magical horror. You could say that, maybe. If that's a word in itself.
That's the really big departure from Kubrick's movie. Yeah.
Because it wasn't at all. It was just Jack going fucking crazy. Yeah.
But you're adapting a Stephen King book, it's gonna get crazy. Yeah. I guess. So the Ghost of Dick Halloran shows Danny how to trap these ghosts. Mm-hmm. And then we jump into the future, into modern day. Danny's alcoholic, abusing substances, waking up with overdosed ladies in their beds and
the small children who are dead.
Yeah, and taking their money. Yeah.
I like how his Jiminy Cricket is a ghost.
Is that what we're calling Halloran now?
Jiminy Cricket.
The Jiminy Cricket. I guess, he's the angel
Danny,
on the shoulder.
You shouldn't be doing that.
You could at least leave the money, Doc. She's not going to spend it on the baby. And then they died.
Yeah, and then the baby died.
Dark.
Yeah.
Really dark.
Yeah, that kid's dead. Should have just taken the baby and raised it as your own at that point.
Just drop it off at a fire station, I don't know. It's the American way.
Should have checked if she was dead. I kind of had a feeling that she was dead.
Yeah. Why did you just leave the baby there? I don't know.
Maybe because he didn't think that she was dead. Just sleeping. He could just be sleeping.
Could be. But also he shines, so maybe not.
I don't know.
Yeah. Like, I don't know how the extent of his abilities, but when his mother was sick as a child, or not as a child, it's like a late teenager, a young man, he saw flies around her face that weren't actually there.
Mm-hmm.
That was part of the shining.
Mm-hmm.
So can he see when everybody is like about to naturally die, or
I don't know.
Exactly. We don't really know. The movie doesn't give too much.
Maybe if she was already dead, the flies wouldn't have been there.
Maybe. You woke up with a dead lady. You don't even know.
I like his job.
Yeah, as a...
That was really cute. Well, maybe not cute, but it was
fitting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Making use of his, his gift.
Yeah. It was weird that was the first thing the doctor thought of. I think, like, you're psychic? Please come do this for me. We need you.
I like how we didn't question the fact that he was psychic either, really.
Yeah.
Like, there was no question there. And we're like, oh, okay, this is fine.
How did you do that? You know what? I don't care. Come work for me.
Fuck it. Let's not question anything. You could be a fucking voodoo witch. Just don't give a fuck. Welcome to 2019.
I bet in the book the doctor actually does call him a voodoo witch, but...
Somebody tell me.
Seems like a very Stephen King thing to write.
You fucking voodoo witch.
You son of a bitch, I'm in.
I'm really proud of you.
I'm surprised. But, so yeah.
Fucking voodoo witch.
The story picks up. Danny is settled into this small town. He's gotten some help from Billy Freeman.
Nobody questions anything. He's a psychic. It's
pretty
fine.
much, yeah. Nobody really cares. Yeah, he lives in an attic now for $50 a week.
I thought it was 80.
Yeah, I think it was whatever. It was less than 100 a week, which is pretty good rent.
You had no kitchen in there. Where did he eat? There was no kitchen.
Psychic kids keep writing on his wall.
What the fuck? But you go and get a kitchen? You get a fucking chalkboard to like the other side, but you don't get a fucking kitchen? It's not okay. No questions. You just eat out?
That's what I was thinking. He either eats out or starves.
That or has a microwave somewhere secret in there and just like eats little fucking banquet meals.
Probably works all the time. You know,
I don't
so
know.
He's just,
maybe eats
eating
the
dead
people after they die.
Exactly. Yeah.
Eats that cat. It's like a whole thing.
That's giving him like cooking instructions.
By the way, that was the cutest cat. The biggest eyes.
It was.
I want a cat now.
He's sad.
I want a cat. Somebody's mailed me a cat.
Don't mail her a cat.
Please don't.
Cats don't like that.
I don't think they will. I don't think the United Postal Service would like it either.
It's gonna be a really angry cat.
What the fuck? Why?
So that's where the story really picks up. Is he's got his new job. He's been going to AA. He's sober.
Mm-hmm.
And
me too.
Meanwhile, Rose the Hat and her gang, whose name I can't remember.
By the way, Lurch is in this movie.
Lurch is in this movie.
Nobody's talking about it enough.
We love Lurch.
I panicked.
And then he dies.
I panicked when I first saw him on screen.
Well, he like super dies, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love the implications with his character. Like they
keep hiring Lurch for stuff.
Yes, please.
We need to keep the Addams family going.
See him, yeah.
Gomez is dead.
Sadly.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Yes.
I love the implications with that particular character. Because, like, when he was dying, or super dying, Rose was telling him, don't be afraid. You're basically Dracula. Like, that was what I was picking up. Was kings and such have told stories of you, and you've been a nightmare for everybody for centuries. And
I think it was you're still going to live on, just in a different way.
I guess
your legacy will still be here.
Yeah,
it's not for nothing. Not that you're Dracula.
But
not that.
That's what I thought the implication was.
No, I no.
Like how many other vampires?
Why the Impaler is still a part of, I'm assuming, this universe.
That could be him.
No, it couldn't.
Just because he's
tall.
This
is a different fucking story. This isn't fucking Dracula. That would have been a bigger thing. A bigger deal. Alec! Stop it! Ruining Dracula for everybody.
I don't think that's what I'm doing.
I think you are. Twilight already ruined it for everybody.
Did Twilight have something to say about Dracula?
I don't know. Well, they talk shit about, what you think vampires are.
No.
I think.
Say it.
By the way, if you want us to drunk cover Twilight, just let us know.
Oh. Leave one like for us to drunk cover Twilight.
We just want to get drunk and we need an excuse. Apparently.
Okay. So
Danny Lloyd was credited as spectator.
Good.
Yeah.
That's what he was.
At least he was credited.
So Rose the Hat and company.
Yes.
You've got Rose, who's just so wonderful.
You got that Betty Boop blonde.
Yeah, her name was Snakebite Andy.
Her name is Betty Boop blonde.
Okay.
That's what I immediately thought.
She was 16 years old.
She looked like Betty Boop.
You did. Now that you've said it, I can see it.
You didn't notice that? Like the way her hair was? I thought it was a very Betty Boop. Okay, nope, but it could just be me. Anyways.
I guess. I was just concerned about her parents. But anyway.
Reading way too much into these things.
Stephen
King can describe a lot of things, but not her parents.
But she was, when she joined the gang, she was called Snakebite Andy. And we've also got Zane McLarnon as Crow Daddy, who is also a really cool side character.
That's my new stripper name.
Crow Daddy.
I will be referred as such.
You join an energy vampire gang, you get a good stripper name.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
That's what it is. They're all actually strippers. That's how they make their money.
Some of the other names are...
How do they make... Oh, yeah, they just steal it. I was just... Because she went to the grocery store like it's a normal occurrence.
Yeah. Sunlight doesn't bother them because they're energy vampires. They're daywalkers, I guess. Don't want to get too much...
They didn't sparkle like diamonds like fucking Twilight.
See, that's what was missing from this movie. They needed to sparkle.
Son of a bitch! Can't keep going back to that fucking...
Stop bringing it up then. Some of the other names, some of the other stripper names in this gang are Apron Annie, Barry the Chunk, love that stripper name, Grandpa Flick, and Silent Sari and Diesel Doug, and Short Eddie.
Short Eddie?
Barry the Chunk is my favorite.
Just a Short Eddie, just because he's...
Just Short Eddie,
that's
yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Alright, well... Poor fucking Short Eddie. You don't get anything that exciting.
You're short. We'll call you Short Eddie.
Aw.
Wow.
I'm so thought of.
I don't get Crow Daddy or something. No, Crow Daddy's already taken. I'm sorry.
You can't be fucking slutty Betty Boop over there, so you gotta be Short Eddie.
Snakebite Andy.
Slutty Betty Boop is better.
I thought they were going to do more with her character.
No.
Snakebite. There's a lot of...
They were just to show off that she's a hoe.
That's fair, I guess? I don't know.
It was just some weird part of the story. Like, I don't
know. I think she existed just to show how their gang kind of works.
Maybe.
How they bring new people in.
And how they turn people, I guess.
Yeah. I like that.
But yeah, we couldn't get the details about her parents. According to Alec, that's what he really wanted to know.
I'm really worried about them. Are they okay? Do they know that their daughter's dead?
There was a library in this.
There was. Those are some pretty cool... Those a neat little...
That was like a bit of gore that we got. Was smashing of the hand.
Oh, yeah.
The ripping of... The degloving of a hand.
That was brutal.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I love degloving. I think it's so fun.
It's a rare effect.
I always threaten people with degloving, and nobody ever understands what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Not that I'll actually do it because I'm a pansy ass, but it's fun to say that I'm going to do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That I'm going to deglove somebody.
Dark.
Yeah. But now you got an image. She got degloved.
That she did. And then she got better, I guess? They didn't really...
No, when she sucked up more like vampires do, I guess. Or
That's fair. No. It's the steam.
Now I have to go get drunk and watch Twilight. Now I have that weird...
Why do you... We're gonna get to it eventually.
It's like a fun idea now.
I mean, while we're at it, listeners, what other vampire movies do you want us to talk about? There's so many.
Obviously, Vampire in Brooklyn.
Obviously, right?
Blackula, obviously.
Oh my god.
The original one is, Dracula, still,
Can we talk for an hour about Nosferatu? Is that a thing we can do? Okay, so we had a lot of speculation last week about some of the stuff that they had to recreate.
Yeah.
And we were talking about the different perspective for the blood elevator.
Yes.
Now we know it's not from adult Danny's perspective, it's from Rose the Hat's perspective. Because this is all part of the trap to get her in there and use the ghosts against her. Mm-hmm. And then it all kind of backfires. The ghosts were also characters that got recast.
Yes.
Shining. Yeah. Kind of minor.
Yeah.
Very minor. Except for the twins. I thought the twins were just kind of, you're too tall.
They didn't look right.
No. But everybody else looked pretty good.
There's only so much you can do. They tried really hard. I will give them that. They tried really fucking hard to get it to look the exact same way.
Yeah. They didn't have to do that. They didn't have to do any of that.
No. But they did it because they know people like us are going to sit here and...
bitch and moan about it.
Yeah, pull it apart. And I have nothing to bitch and moan, really. I understand that you had a very hard job to try to recast and try to really recreate a lot of things.
Yeah.
And they got it pretty solid. They got a lot of things pretty solid. The way the Overlook looked, at least.
Mm-hmm. I thought it kind of lacked the feeling. It's a weird thing.
Big and empty?
Yeah.
It looked it almost looked very claustrophobic in there. Yeah. It didn't look as big and... Because I thought that same way. That room that Jack that Jack writes in.
Yeah.
I thought it looked a little bit smaller.
It did.
And the lobby wasn't as big as what I remember it to be.
Yeah.
There were little details like that.
I was just thinking of, the hallways. Because, we talked about it last week, one of those urban legends, I don't know if it's really true or not, that the sets for The Shining were so big that crew members keep getting lost in, the hallway sets.
Yeah.
I didn't really feel that, enormity with this one.
Maybe it's because he's bigger?
It could be. That's a very basic and very reasonable explanation. It could also just be that 2 scale, Yeah.
He's taller now.
He is. He's not a youngin'.
No. So it wouldn't feel as... you wouldn't be at the same...
Massive.
Yeah. Because you wouldn't be at the same eye level as Danny would be.
No.
With certain shots. So you're seeing it from an adult's perspective. To where it might not have been as big as we all thought.
Yeah.
But that means that the original Shining did a really good job at faking that.
Yeah. I don't know.
To get it from a child's perspective. For certain scenes, obviously.
Which is also the whole reason why the Steadicam was invented. But,
thank you.
Yeah.
You keep mentioning that, but thank you.
It's a big thing.
I know, it is a really big thing.
They just wanted to follow Danny around.
Good. I'm glad. But, yeah, I think they did a pretty good job with how the Overlook looked.
Definitely with how it looked. And I like the little, the details about what happened to it after the events of The Shining.
Yeah.
Since, I guess, there were actual survivors this time, so the owners decided, you know what, this keeps happening, we're just, shut it down, shut it all down.
Yeah. Yeah.
So somebody had to go up there and board everything up and not get harassed by ghosts.
Yeah, but that kind of shit never happened when it was occupied. By normal people.
Well, Dick Halloran, they bring it up in this movie too, is that he told Danny, they're like pictures in a book. They can't really hurt you. Except they can.
Except apparently, yes.
Yeah. Because the ghosts are also energy vampires or some shit. It's weird. Stephen King's weird. He writes weird stories. Anyway.
So, the ghost got into Danny because he shined that violently.
Yeah.
And the same thing with Jack.
They did imply that Jack shined.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They would have had to have at this point.
Yeah.
And they either got into his brain or he was already, we already talked about this in the last podcast, all the things that we think could have fucking happened to Jack.
Yeah.
And why. So that might be the only reason why they were able to touch him. And the only reason why they were able to touch Rose the Hat, too, was because of that level of supernatural ability, I guess.
Yeah.
That they were on the same playing field. And so that's why Shelley Duvall only ever got attacked by fucking Jack. Because he was a real person.
Yeah. Like,
and that's,
Shelley Duvall only had the one supernatural encounter at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Running to the lobby and seeing it full of skeletons.
Yeah. That was, like, the only thing.
That was the one time that the hotel actually reached out to her.
And so maybe whenever it was occupied by all those normal people, it didn't act the way that it did because it couldn't.
Maybe it was, like, when it's fully occupied that it kind of disperses.
Yeah.
But I don't really know how to talk about fictional psychic mechanisms.
There's no. This isn't our story. This is Stephen King's and he made, and we're just trying to understand it.
Especially when I don't know the source material.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, but they Mike Flanagan, and it was Warner Bros. Who made this, right? I think it was.
I think so.
I think they definitely made a very satisfying follow-up. I think for a lot of people it would be satisfying.
I thoroughly enjoyed myself.
Like, I was entertained.
Yeah. But again, I never read the book.
Yeah.
And so I don't have anything to go off of in that regard. I can't be that kind of angry.
Right. Like, I think there's an argument to be made that by picking an interpretation of Kubrick's work and sticking to it, they may be doing something of a disservice to it.
Okay.
But it's also like you're making a follow-up. You kind of have to. It's a necessity.
So while we're getting very close to the end of our podcast, on Instagram this past week, I went on my personal Instagram and the Peaches Scream Instagram and asked for people's opinions about the the movie and stuff. Yeah. And I got 2.
Okay.
Did you get any?
No.
Okay. I got 2. And this is my first one. Was I absolutely loved Rose the Hat, menacing villain, charming but brutal, and I enjoyed the book too. So we do have some book readers who are, listening to our podcast, so that's good. So maybe we have some questions that'll get answered. My second one is, Ewan McGregor is one good-looking motherfucker.
I saw that one.
And that was it. And that was it. So, when we do our next podcast, and I ask for questions like these, because our next one's going to be Knives Out that we record.
Yeah, that's going to be really fun.
Look for both our Instagram, or our personal Instagrams, and the Peaches Instagram, and feel free to tell us things about, Yep,
links will be in the description below.
Yep. And then we'll talk about your opinions in the next podcast. Yeah. Yeah.
So, last thing we have to do, Screaming Peach ratings.
I'm going to do an 8 out of 10.
I think I'm going to do a 7 out of 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's the first time we didn't agree.
It's been a long time.
It's been a while.
It has been a while. Yeah, now I need to, actually work and put in more than one graphic.
Aw, bitch.
No, damn.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised. Because normally sequel horror movies suck.
And this one didn't.
And I was really shocked.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit.
It was,
I didn't want to kill myself throughout this entire movie. Wow.
It was entertaining. You really connect with all of the characters on some level. Yeah. Like, I loved Billy Freeman, and I was really sad to see him go the way that he did.
He was a good character, though.
He was. He anchored Danny in.
I love Ewan McGregor.
Yeah.
I love anything that he does.
And I love that, and I love his character's story in this, how it mirrors his father. I do think that it's kind of refreshing how they recast the characters from 40 years ago.
I'm just astounded about how close they got, even if it was kind of distracting. Yeah. But they still got close enough to where I know the effort was there.
Like, they did their best, and it's not objectively bad.
No.
It's just,
we're not used to it. Yeah. And yeah. Yeah. You're not obviously Shelley Duvall. You're obviously not Jack Nicholson. So it's very hard to do that. Yeah. Those fucking iconic roles justice. And it's a lot to live up to. and they did their best.
And I think the movie did a good job of balancing the new story with full 20 minutes of fan service at the end.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Did a lot just to throw us a bone.
Yeah.
And it wasn't all that either. I could have done without it, even. Like, the movie was so good.
Yeah.
You didn't need to give me that, but yet you did.
The movie really does stand on its own.
I'm just glad it wasn't all...
Yeah.
It wasn't all nostalgia. Because that's the thing I was really worried about, is that's what the fuck I was going to get, and I was going to sit through... Yeah. So
we're really glad that they kind of held back until the end there.
Yeah. We earned it, and I was already pleased with what I got, and then they delivered me that, and it was perfect.
That it was.
Yeah. So.
For Peaches and Scream Entertainment.
Don't do that. Stop it. Bye. Thank you for listening to a Peaches and Scream podcast. My name is Ellie, and please make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe.